Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here. Early, I believe it's morning. You know, it is very important that we all know the truth. Without the truth, we are in darkness and we're not living, but we're dying. So, I like to spend a moment talking about a particular subject, just a moment, and ask you your opinion about it. Let's say we're talking about billionaires. Billionaires, yes, billionaires. A nation where any one of its citizens can become a billionaire is a good thing. At least this is what everyone says. Everyone got opportunity. This is a nation where you can come and give it all you got and get what you get from your giving. Well, a nation where any one of its citizens can become a billionaire. In fact, out of the 300 plus million citizens in the USA, 614 of them are billionaires, up from 66, which in 1990, so between 1990 and 2020, we jumped from 66 to 614 billionaires. Now, everyone knows how exciting it is to become a billionaire. Up until 1990, 66, and now things have changed and there are many more. Does that mean that the opportunity is any greater for anyone, or does it mean, what does it mean? Well, there was an additional amount. They said it jumped over 500, triple or quadruple, something like that, just in that period of time. But when you look at it, whether it's 66 billionaires or 614 billionaires, there are still over 300 million Americans that are not billionaires. 300 million. So what does that say? That says we got a system that goes along that permits this to happen for a limited amount, 614, to become billionaires, to enjoy the things out of life that they want, and the rest of you can't. But they say it's open to you if you can. It's open to you if you can. But obviously you can't because you haven't. So what does that say about a system that exists like this so you can have this limited amount while the masses of the people will never get that amount? So what good is a system that's open to people that will never get there? What, do you ever thought about that? Well, let me ask you this. If you say to the billionaires, or do you think that the billionaires would give up their hold on money if it meant that the rest of society who are not billionaires, who are just struggling to make it along, some of them just going through poverty, crime, and violence, and all the other stuff that we know exists, do you think they would give up the money, or should they, their hold on money, if it means that all of the people can live happily with far as access to what money could buy? Do you think that the billionaires would be ready to give up or relinquish their hold on money for this purpose? The answer is, of course not. Now let me ask you this. What if the billionaires could still control whatever they were in control of that allowed them to become billionaires, or their careers, whatever it was that allowed them to become billionaires? They still have and manipulated and run that the way he's been running it, that made it as successful as it's been. But now you will be able to have whatever else is making it. There was a holdback before, and now it's not, and it's to aid you to make it even better than what it was ever. And at the same time, you can have that access that you've always acclaimed. Now it's yours to be maintained, and at the same time, because of the new system, everybody else is enjoying their life as if they were billionaires too. Do you think the billionaires would relinquish their hold on money for an outcome such as this? Of course not. Of course not. But why don't you think they would do something like that? I mean, this is benefits everybody. Why don't you think they would do something like that? Well, it is, my friends, because their resistance is due to other gifts that they have as well. And those gifts might come in the form of being greedy. And this causing them to act as con artists. And they're using the system to take advantage of unsuspecting citizens. Their personal power is in the fact that they have access to things that other people don't have. They have such a gratification at belittling other people. It's like being a bully. And so they couldn't relinquish their power, that money, because money enables them, that they got, that others don't have, to be able to exert these kind of falsities. So they wouldn't. So what they are saying is, and I want to say to you all, is this, is that what we're talking about, what I've just got through talking about, and you know quite well, is capitalism. And what we have established here in America, and I guess any place else in the world, is that capitalism works better than Godism. Capitalism works so well that everybody, mostly everybody, I would say, that talks about God, got God under the same rules of capitalism as you, as everybody else. The creator of the universe, the creator of harmony, the creator of love, can't come up with any program any better, so they have to fall under the dictates. It's like the universe, so God, looking down on America and seeing that America got problems. And out of all of the preachers, maybe not so many, that got mega churches, they got thousands of people listening to them every week, sending them tithes and offerings, buying their books, buying their tapes, studying their conversations and lectures. And God looked down on those, and looked down on those that are not as big. He even looked down on the small churches that got a few members. Looked at the membership, looked at the leadership. Then, well, that includes the Catholics, and that includes the Muslims and everybody, Hindu and everybody else. God looked over the world that's in America, that religious movement, and could not find one individual, not one individual, male or woman, that he could use to straighten America out. And so God reached down in America and found one of the most evil men that was out here, and chose that man to come and become president of the United States and make the world better. And you got those same preachers and who got all these million of people who God looked over because they weren't fit to do this work. And now they are out there proclaiming that this is God's man. They're telling the world that God is not what we thought he was. That God is not peace and prosperity and freedom and joy for all people. God is for some, at the expense of others. This is what the message is to America. And so my point in speaking to you, ladies and gentlemen, is to expose that as being a lie. To let you know that this is truly what's happening. A con game. No less a con game than Madoff. And many of you are familiar with what Madoff was doing. And it's the same game. Anything where you are doing whatever, and it causes pain and suffering to others, is an indication that game got to stop. Pain and suffering to others, that game has got to stop. Somebody said, well, why the football keep on going? Well, I'm going to let you deal with football. I'm going to talk about the world and its systems. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I made a little point. I'm not going to try to take it any further than that. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. It truly has been a pleasure. Until next time, Eddie Marcus saying good night.